What's up, everybody? Are people rolling in here? Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Come on, asshole. Okay. There we go. All right, people are starting to stream on in here. Glad to see. Happy Saturday afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Some good football on TV today. TCU almost blew it. Michigan almost blew it. Both of them survived. Both of them are still in the running for the college football playoff. Bad day for Tennessee. Not a good day for the Vols. Although they kind of control their own destiny. I'm a Tennessee fan this year. I like anything new, generally. I've always liked Tennessee. I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. I've always liked them. I've always liked their colors. Nobody else wears that color orange. It's a cool color. Volunteer orange. I'm not a Peyton Manning fan, but I like Tennessee, and I think football is better when Tennessee's back, when Tennessee's good. I think the product is better. We also, I mean, some other teams that need to make a comeback that we need to see good again. We need to see Penn State get good. We need to see Nebraska. Nebraska has to come back at some point. Florida State, it's always better when they're good. Yeah, there's no competition for Clemson in the ACC. So, we'll see. Anyway, guys, doing a quick little impromptu live here to announce, first of all, that the live show tonight is postponed until tomorrow because I'm driving to Boston area to meet up with a gentleman who goes by the name of Irish Demon. He is some sort of YouTube personality, and I'm happy to do it. So, quick little background here if you missed it. The other night, while I don't even know how it started, I got sent this clip of Dump Truck was on, Shannon, Dump Truck, we just call it Dump Truck now. Dump Truck was on this channel, running her mouth or whatever, saying lies about me and whatever. And the channel, he's got like 27,000 subs on there, so obviously he's got an audience, and there was like 1,100 people watching, so it seemed like a good crowd. Anyway, there's a lot of people to spread misinformation in front of, and I felt like the wrong impression was being had of me on there, because I don't know this guy, Irish Demon. I have nothing. I don't judge people until they do something negative towards me, you know? Like, he's never done anything to me, so why would I be negative to him? So I went on there and I'm like, hey, hello, Mr. Demon. I just want to introduce myself. I feel like you have the wrong impression of me. You should invite me up on the panel. But at that point, it was pretty clear that Shannon was in charge and Dump Truck was calling the shots there. So basically, it was a no-go. I would comment and stuff, and every time I would comment, Dump Truck would respond to it. Aiden, blah, blah, blah. It's like, no, why don't you just have me come up here and have a conversation about this? I think I called it a debate. I didn't know what else to call it. What are we going to call it? A chat? So I'm like, okay, so let's, why not have me up? Why not talk to me? You know, if you're talking about me, so obviously, and their excuse was, oh, we're not going to give you a platform. That's the old excuse they give to everyone. We can't platform you. Yeah, because I don't have my own platform to speak on, right? It's like, I'd rather not just go on my channel and speak, even though, I mean, I have like 22.8 thousand subs. Not too shabby. So I could go on there and rant about them all day, but I find that to be an unproductive waste of time when people just go to their echo chambers and be like, yeah, that guy sucks, huh? So I was like, let me get your email. Because he's like, you won't say that. You won't say that to my face. And I'm like, first of all, this is not confrontational, dude. I just want to talk, okay? And because I come in peace, all right? I'm a lover, not a fighter. so I'm like, he gives me his email. I send him an email, and I'm like, hey, I feel like you got the wrong impression of me. I'd love to explain where I'm coming from, and more importantly, answer any questions you have, because he's like, I got a lot of questions. Okay, and I got a lot of answers, because that's one thing about me, guys, is I don't shy away from anything. When you have the truth on your side, and you have nothing to be ashamed of, then what is there to hide? So he was very respectful in his responses to me, and I think him and I both agreed that, like, it's just different when you're having a conversation privately with somebody and it's not in front of a lot of people, because you're not putting on a show then, you're not trying to please anyone, you're not getting likes, you're not reading the chat, you're not doing any of that shit, right? It's just two people talking. It's very rare these days. So, you know, we could talk, him and I, we just talk on a StreamYard or something privately, whatever. But no, he's like, I'm coming to Boston. I'm like, what? Coming to Boston. I'm booking a flight. I thought he was kidding. Now he booked the flight. He came to Boston. He's from Ireland, and like legit Ireland, and he just booked a flight to Boston. I don't know if it's just to meet me. That would be fucking badass. I gotta be honest with you. That impresses me right there. If you literally got on a fucking plane to meet a dude over some sort of YouTube misunderstanding, that's fucking badass. I gotta give it to him right there. I hope for his sake that he's got other business besides me. Because I'm like, because what if I was like, I canceled? Like, what if I did something, like, he doesn't know me? What if I canceled at the last minute or something? Then you came all this way for nothing, like, to prove a point? Like, but no, I appreciated the gesture that he flew all this way. So he's at a hotel in Newton, so I'm driving out there right now. And we're going to have some brewskis or something, I assume, and just talk. He says he's got a lot of questions for me. And which is fine, because I got a lot of answers, you know, and I feel like Dump Truck and Krusty Panties identify these people on YouTube who have influence, because that's ultimately what they did with me, right? Like, they were nobodies, and they still are, and they see me with influence, so they're like, well, let's latch on to this guy and make a name for ourselves this way. And they did, and so I think they looked at Irish Demon the same way, and they're like, well, this guy's got reach, we can use him to fight our battles for us. And I don't think he realizes that he's being played by them and kind of used, because it was very obvious that Shannon was just hiding on there. Like, she was just hiding, like running and hiding. And then the next day she's all like, oh, he got destroyed and owned on Irish Demon's thing. It's like, I didn't even get to go up. How did I get destroyed if I can't even go up? So we're going to talk. And first of all, I don't plan on live streaming any of this tonight, unless he wants to later on. I don't know. Like, I'd rather just talk to him. So, and maybe we do something. We'll see how it goes, you know? It's like, dude, it's like people are like, oh, Irish Demon's going to kick your ass. Dude, I'm 40 years old. I have fucking 2 kids. I don't go and fight people, like, and I highly doubt he does either. He seems like a normal person, I'll be honest with you. He does have excellent sound quality on his stream. His microphone is fantastic. I give him that. I do appreciate a good microphone. But other than that, I know very little about him, so I guess I'll learn. I'm meeting someone tonight. I don't know what he's going to ask me. I think he's going to ask me about, like, did you make fun of Shannon LeBarry's dead baby? Because this is what he's been told, and that's obviously untrue. Yeah, I made fun of a dead baby. Yeah, that's what I did. No, I didn't make fun of a dead baby. I pointed out the fact that Shannon passes off a miscarriage as like having a baby that died. And she messaged me about that when it first happened, like 4 or 5 years ago or whatever, and I didn't even know her, and she was like, can you send me flowers? My baby died. And it was awkward. I'm like, what? I'm really sorry about that. Turns out it's like she made it sound like an infant died. So I'm like, okay, dump truck. And she claims she lied about having a funeral. Like, she's like, my mom cried at the funeral. So I'm going to be very, very honest and clear about this right now. And you can believe me or don't believe me, because and dump truck will just lie about this. Like, I've spoken to members of Shannon's family, her immediate family. I didn't speak to her mom or her dad about this, but she has 3 siblings, and you can do the math from there. And I got screenshots from one of them that I've posted. And I've spoken to cousins who have reached out to me since the blog was published, and the consensus is that they have been trying to get dump truck mental health for like treatment for years. That she is crazy, and is like ultra obsessive and gets involved in everyone's personal lives, and this is like what she does. Like, what she's been doing here is just her MO her whole life. For that reason, her family, they love her. Obviously, it's their daughter and their sister or whatever. But it's hard to watch somebody like that you care about turn into this. And quite frankly, the YouTube thing is not good for people like her, because it just feeds to their insanity. It's not healthy. But I don't really care about her health, to be perfectly honest with you, because she's done such horrible things to me and my family, quite frankly. And posting that video of my son crying, like, what? I mean, go check it out on the Turtleboy Secrets page. It's disgusting. So one day my 3-year-old son was throwing a temper tantrum, and he's like inconsolable. Like, he's ridiculous. He's ridiculous. And you know, it's like kids. That's just, some kids are like that. My daughter wasn't like that. My son is. And I'm like, dude, like, it would always happen when I would drive him home. If he would fall asleep in the back of the car, and I had to get him up at like 5, get him out of the car, it was like the next 3 hours before bed were just like, made no sense. You want dinner? And he would just cry. Just cry. Like, there's nothing you could do. You tried to ask him what he wants. All he does is cry. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to my office. I'm getting away from the cry. So I go in my office, and I was messaging at the time LG, and I'm like, oh my God, you got to see this. You got to see what I'm dealing with right now. So I sent her a video. I took a video of him having, like, he's in my office having this ridiculous fit, and I'm not giving into the tantrum, because I don't do that. Some parents do that. I don't give into tantrums. I think that's rewarding their behavior. It just encourages them to do it more. So I'm sitting there, and I'm recording, like, I just record his little tantrum for like a minute, and I'm like, I send it to her, and I'm just sitting there responding to him. He's just like, I want mommy, I want, and I'm like, yeah, she's not here. So, you know, it's like he had been saying that the whole time. It's like, well, I'm not Santa Claus. I can't produce her, so I don't know what you want me to do, and I'm not giving into your tantrum, and I'm not going to get mad at you. It's not like I got mad at him in the video or yelled at him. I'm just sitting there. I'm just being calm about it. I'm just like, yep, not here. I'm like, she's cheerleading. Are you a cheerleader, Brady? Nope, you're not. So here we are. And that video, you know, of him screaming and crying and stuff, I sent it to her. I'm like, you got to see what I'm dealing with it. So obviously at that point, it's like, this is somebody you trust, you send that to. Well, turns out she's a crazy bitch, and she ended up sending that video to Crusty Panties and Dump Truck. And Dump Truck posts it on her page, Turtleboy Secrets. She created this, if you're unfamiliar with this, she created this page on Facebook and YouTube. Check it out. It's called Turtleboy Secrets. She posted on there like dozens of times a day. Some of the most insane things about how she's speaking to attorney generals to take me down, how there's this big storm coming, how I'm being charged with federal wiretapping, and she's talking to lawyers, like, just insanity. Like, there's no other word to describe it, but complete insanity. Contacting police. And I swear to God, there was like a bunch of their accounts like that. I think she ran them all. Like, now that I look back at it, I think she, because the second that account died in May, they all died. It's funny, they all just died. So that account posted the video of my son crying. And it's like, this is what child abuse looks like. And I can't even tell you how hurtful that is to see that, and to see that your child, your 3-year-old boy, is being exploited on the internet for likes and clicks against, he didn't give you his consent to do that. Neither of his parents gave you his consent to do that. It's like, you have no morals if you do something like that. You're just a deplorable, ugly person if you think it's okay to do that to a child. Like, what is wrong with you? And so this is the woman who is now complaining, oh, he's being mean to my kid. It's like, my son was alive, first of all. My son was, we gave birth to him, okay? He came out. He's got a birth certificate. And what you did to him, and the way you exploited him, is just so disgusting, where you've completely given up the ability to ever complain about the way that your children are treated. If you're going to do that to someone else's children, and the worst part about it all is she did it under the cloak of anonymity. The second I figured out who that page was and I called her out on it, it just stopped. It just stopped. Because it wasn't fun anymore when she couldn't hide. When everyone, because a lot of people knew who Shannon was because she was a running joke in the Turtleboy community. She's burned so many bridges with people. And there were people on there. I'll be one. Pam Martin was one. She was on there, and she was commenting on it one day. And I sent her a text, and she ended up blocking me. Well, once she found out it was Shannon Mary, she unblocked me, and she sent me a text. She's like, I'm really sorry. I did not know that was Shannon Mary. I never would have ever commented on that page. Like, if I knew it was that crazy bitch. Like, Shannon is well known around these parts as the mentally unstable one. And, of course, Krusty Panties knows that as well. She knows that better than anyone, because check out the video that was put up this afternoon of all of the things that they said about each other to me. All of the things that Kate called her an insane psycho cunt, DC, like crazy shit. She hated her with a passion, because Shannon wanted to get so involved in everything. Always wanted to insert herself, always wanted to make herself feel special or whatever, or, you know, a part of something. Like, oh, I have Boston police connections, I have FBI. She told us she was in the goddamn FBI. That's how crazy this bitch is. And did you see, by the way, what she posted yesterday? Oh my God, you gotta see it. So Shannon, oh, she's so stupid. I need better enemies. So she posted a shot of her messaging me on January 8th of 2021. Hey, you should look into the Rachel Rollins road rage incident. My sources are telling me in Boston police about it. Oh, really? Because she knows people, so she has sources. Now, that happened on Christmas Eve, that incident. She messaged me about that on January 8th. My response was thumbs up. That's all I said. And she's like, now she's saying that, see, without me, Aiden got all his story ideas from me. I was such a valuable source. See, I'm valuable. People need me. People like me. I do things. I can find things out. I have credible sources, whatever. Okay. So I go back and look at the Rachel Rollins blog today about that. Dude, it was published January 7th. It was already published when she sent me that. I published it the night before. She fucking sent, and so that's why I gave her the thumbs up, because I didn't want to bother with her. It was like, cool. I didn't want to embarrass her and be like, dude, I already fucking wrote about this. Like, what are you talking about? So I already fucking wrote about it. And now she's on there bragging about, look, I gave him this tip. It's like, oh, bitch, that story was already up. What's wrong with you? You're so bad at this. And now she's fucking posting it on her YouTube, whatever. It's like one of the greatest self-owns I've ever seen. It's fucking humiliating. And that, Shannon, is a perfect example of why we never embraced you, especially when Kate was working. Like, we never wanted anything to do with you. You were a joke. Like, you're not useful. You have no talents. You have no skills. You like to pretend like you're involved in everything. She liked to pretend that she ran this organization called Bikers Against Abusing Kids. I talked to them. They want nothing to do with her. She volunteered for an organization called Live Boston, who I'm friends with their editor, Cam Goggins. I talk to Cam all the time. As soon as that came out, he's just like, dude, I am so sorry that... She goes, we never paid her a dime. She kind of just inserted herself in this. She is never going to be involved with us again. Like, they were embarrassed. Like, nobody wants to be... Like, Shannon, your own family would rather be associated with me than you. I've talked to them more than you have, probably in the last year. They want nothing to do with you. Like, check out the video I put up earlier, and you'll see that my favorite is the one from the brother. He's just like, oh, I don't talk to her at all. She's that's my crazy sister. I felt so bad for him. Now Shannon's pretending. Dump truck, to cover up for that, she goes, oh, my brother was just messing with him. I talked to him about it today. No, he wasn't, dear. He wasn't actually. And that wasn't even me talking to him. So there's that. But I don't know. Look, I think me and the demon will have a lot to talk about. If he's a reasonable person, then he'll see reason, and he'll realize that, oh yeah, maybe these women are using me. I mean, I'm going to leave it up to him. If we leave this conversation and he still trusts them, that's fine. I've said my piece. It is what it is. It's his world. He can bring anyone he wants into it. I'm just going to go back to blogging like I always do the next day. It's like no sweat off my back. But yeah. Trying to think anything else. So I also think he's going to ask me about, just from the emails, like he's very interested in the tub thing he asked me about, which is just so easy. I mean, ridiculous. Did you send naked videos of your kids in the tub? Nope. Nope. I actually got an email from the Holden police confirming that. So, and there was no investigation, nothing, because they were very upset about that. The Turtleboy Secrets account kept tagging the Holden police. Why isn't Holden police investigating him for this? Because nothing happened, because you're making it up, stupid. That's why. Like, because the Holden police are reasonable professional adults. So am I. And they realize they're dealing with the site. It didn't take them... Cops know bullshit when they smell it. They figured that one out real quick, that they were being used and played by these two very unstable women. So he's going to ask me about that, and I'm sure he's going to ask me about, like, Ryan Waters or whatever. Like, he's been asking about that. And it's like, how much time you got for Ryan Waters? I don't even know where to start with that. But the theory that you're coming up with, which obviously came from Krusty Panties and Dump Truck, has been disproven in court, like, multiple times, luckily. Ryan Waters has literally used that theory multiple times, that, like, people threatened my kids under his name or something. Like, he's ranted about that in court using Shannon's hot tip. And as it turns out, there's nothing there, because it's been thrown out in court, I think 2 or 3 times by now. He's tried filing multiple criminal complaints against that. He tried suing me over it. It failed. It failed, just like it always does. Pro tip, don't get your legal advice from a mentally unstable woman named Dump Truck. There's that. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm dealing with trash here, like just psychotic trash. It's crazy to think about. And it's crazy to think about how far they've gotten being psychotic white trash. But I guess on YouTube, when on a Discord, these worlds, like weirdos like that can become whatever, have their own little sphere of influence in these random communities that don't really matter in the long run. But yeah. So I can't really read the comments or anything. Let me think of anything else that the Irish demon might ask me. I'm actually really looking forward to this, to be perfectly honest with you. I like meeting new people. He seems like a funny guy. Like I like the Irish. I am technically Irish. I'm American. But I like Irish people. I mean, that's what I would have become if my parents didn't go to Ellis Island, if me ancestors. So we'll talk about Ireland, I'm sure, and favorite beers and whatever. Maybe we'll go live, maybe we won't. Not everything has to be for the consumption of others. So that's his call. Some people have warned me, like, dude, you got to be careful. Like they've told me like he's shady, but guess what? They've told him the same things about me. People have told him the same things about me. Maybe he's a little weary about like, what's this guy up to? Like, you know, should I be on guard? Like, you don't have any, like, no. I come in peace. We're just two dudes from YouTube with the combined 50,000 subs meeting up for some brewskis. That's it, man. It's that simple. Talking about crazy bitches, you know? Poor bitches too. Like, let's be honest. Like, most of these women, I mean, Shannon literally hasn't had a job since she got fired as a Boston police dispatcher a long time ago. She hasn't worked. I know that because I've posted her probate court documents now, and she filed, she got the fee waived, the filing fee waived for indigency or whatever, however you pronounce it. AKA she's poor. She's extremely poor, which is why she lives in government subsidized housing in Medfield, as does 𝗵𝗏𝗄𝗃. They both live in Section 8 housing. They'll both never own a house ever. Like, although never say never. They got a long way to go. They could hit a lucky scratch ticket or something. You never know. But, you know, people are warning me about this, but I'm like, what's going to happen? I mean, what's going to happen? I mean, we're in public. We're going to his hotel. We're going to chill in the lobby. It's like, what are you sabotage me? Think about what's the worst that could happen from this. Okay, worst case scenario. Tell me. I mean, I really don't know. Like, he's gonna, like, 𝗵𝗏𝗄𝗃 pops up from around the corner or something. Bring it on. I love that shit. I'm built for that, baby. Ooh, I wish a motherfucker would. We know dump truck's not going to be there. Well, first of all, I noticed her. There's no place for her to hide. But, you know, it's like, what are if they did that, that'd be awesome. Because I got a camera too, and I can go live too. You know, so, but I don't think that's going to happen. I think it's all, people are building this up like it's like some big thing. But from my private conversations, I see a totally different side of him. And maybe he's playing me, and maybe he's not. But again, what's the worst that could happen? Like, what's the worst outcome from this? You know, I wasted time driving. I mean, gas money, I guess, would be the word. I wasted one in the Mass Pike. I'm on the Mass Pike right now, actually. It's a sweet shot. He picked a great hotel. It's right off the fucking highway. I love it. I was not looking forward to going into Boston proper. No offense, I hate going into Boston. There's nowhere to park. And that's if you're going to, like, the touristy part of Boston. If you're going to goddamn Hyde Park, Roslindale, West Roxbury, something like that, it's like you got to go down 95 and then all these fucking back roads, Brookline or Dedham or whatever. It's like, I fucking hate going to that. So we're not doing that. We're going to Newton. I like Newton. Newton's very easy to get to. So we're doing that. Yeah. I wish I could answer your questions, but I don't know if there's any good comments. I don't know if we have any shamrock. I mean, I will be able to see. I'm not gonna be able to read the words, but are there demon people in here? If you're a demon person, throw your shamrocks up. I'm generally curious. You're more than welcome here, by the way. All are welcome on my channel. Hopefully mods are not censoring them. Everyone is welcome on my channel. Period. Oh yeah, you know what? So 𝗏𝗏𝗡𝗃𝗃 apparently, 𝗏𝗏𝗡𝗃𝗃 apparently posted or bailed out. There's some guy named BSBT or something, BTSB or something. I don't know. I guess he's like an auditor. I think he seems dangerous. That's what everybody says. He's like a fucking menace. He harasses people's kids, and he's like a meth head, people were saying. I don't even know. But he's just like a piece of shit from what people say. And he got arrested because that's what auditors sometimes do. And I guess Chile, my understanding of this was Chile de Castro was planning on bailing this guy out of jail, but he didn't have the funds. It was like $625. So what did 𝗏𝗏𝗡𝗃𝗃 do? She used the donated money from her scam there for the legal funds, and she spent it to bail this criminal out of jail to troll Chile. Like, that's somehow roasting Chile. See, haha, I bailed your friend out before you could. And so it didn't go, from what I saw in the Discord, it didn't go over well with the people in it. They were like, you're bailing out criminals? Like, you're bailing out this fucking scumbag who does all this shit? And she's trying to defend herself. It's like, and even some of her biggest supporters are like, I can't support you anymore. I've seen multiple people in the comments over there saying that they've canceled their monthly donation or whatever, and that they've given before, and they feel lied to. Especially when people found out that Shannon, dump truck, has been messaging me for months pretending to be a woman named Robin Higgins, who I'm going to find Robin Higgins. Dump truck, I hope you know that. I'm going to find Robin. And me and Rob are going to have a long talk about you impersonating her. Because Robin's a real person, actually. You're using her identity. And I spoke with Dump Truck. I spoke with Robin Higgins on the phone. And I'm like, as soon as I heard her voice, I'm like, oh, that's Dump Truck. And it's like, oh, shit. I can't believe she actually answered. And I listened to it again today, and I compared it to, like, her voice other times. It's like, oh, dude, it's, like, undeniable, especially certain words. That's one thing Irish Demon initially said. He's like, I don't think that's her. Oh, dude, it's her, mate. It's her. No doubt about it. No doubt about it. There's a reason that 𝗏𝗏𝗡𝗃𝗃 is now claiming to have met Robin Higgins, because they want this to go away. And they're saying, oh, you wiretapped Robin Higgins. That's against the law. Well, why isn't Robin Higgins pressing charges against me? Oh, right, because I was talking to Dump Truck. And in order for Dump Truck to press charges, she would have to admit that it was her the whole time, which she can't do because then her scam's up. So I've seen multiple people in the comments saying, I feel lied to. I feel like I trusted you people. And I feel bad for them. They fell for the scam. I fell for the scam too with them. I mean, I liked them both at times. But you live and learn, you know? And I think it's starting to crumble. Remember, I ignored this shit for a long time, but there's only so much poking you can take, baby, before the turtle snaps back. Before it's like, okay, let's put this to bed right now. Let's do some exposing. Let's do it. Let's get to the truth of the matter here and show the world who you really are. And yeah, you're not gonna. The Merb interview too helped, you know. You're not gonna convince everyone. But you're going to convince some. The real diehards, you'll never get to them. They don't matter. Who cares about them? And by the way, I don't know if you saw it, so I believe her name is Jessica Waterhouse, or Jessica O'Connell, I'm not sure her name. She goes by Sugar H2O. Check out that video, because I noticed she's been defending, she's a 𝗏𝗏𝗡𝗃𝗃 defender. She's an old turtle rider. And honestly, she doesn't even seem like a bad person. Like, she seems like a decent person. I feel bad for her. She's just been conned and she fell for their lies, or whatever. I saw her in the comments, like, defending Dump Truck today. It's like, check out the latest video I posted, Jessica, Sugar H2O. Look what Dump Truck said about you. She was doxing you and shit. She was, like, trying to get me to look into you. I think this is Jessica Waterhouse. Sends me your fucking information. Well, I didn't. No offense, you're just not. I don't write blogs about random people commenting in flame wars. Like, you're not that interesting. But that's the girl you're defending. So, I mean, I feel bad for you. I mean, you seem like a nice enough person. I just, you have no idea. You have no idea. All our followers are. They have no idea that they're all being lied to and used. So, anyway, folks, I'm in Framingham now. We're getting pretty close to the demons, so we'll talk later. All right, maybe we'll go live, maybe not. We'll see. But I'm really looking forward to this, and we'll see how it goes. Peace, Turtle Riders.